Hello everybody and welcome to the ultimate PowerPC Mac video series. Over the course of the next 3 videos, we are going to take the fastest PowerPC Mac ever released, the Power Mac G5 Quad, and completely max it out and pack it to the gills with upgrades. And in this first video, we're going to go over all of the insane parts that I have managed to get a hold of that will hopefully allow us to make this G5 one of the fastest PowerPC Macs on the planet. So before we start looking at all of the upgrades, we need to take a little bit of a peek at the star of the show, the G5 Quad itself. Released in October 2005, the Power Mac G5 Quad is the fastest PowerPC Mac Apple ever released. Packing 2 dual-core PowerPC G5 processors, this thing was an absolute monster and wiped the floor with pretty much any other Mac that had come before it. And even to this day, as I hope to prove in this video series, it can still be a very, very capable system. I actually got this guy imported from Belgium, as I was finding it nigh on impossible after months of searching to find a G5 Quad in the UK in very, very good condition for a decent price. Our G5 Quad was completely refurbished by the guy who sold it to me before he sold it, and one massive thing to note is the fact that he completely rebuilt the liquid cooling system from the ground up. New fittings, new pipes and new coolant. So that is huge because, as I'm sure most of you are aware, the liquid cooled Power Mac G5s over time are prone to corrosion and coolant leaks. So the fact I've got basically a mint condition Power Mac G5 here with what is practically a brand spanking new cooling system installed is it's almost too good to be true. So how are we looking in terms of upgrades then? Well, the 2 1GB sticks of DDR2 memory that are currently installed in the system are most definitely going to be ripped out, and we're going to completely max this guy out. We're going to be installing 8 2GB sticks of 533 MHz DDR2 memory. 16 gigs of RAM in a PowerPC Mac is just too much for my brain to comprehend. And I've got a sneaky suspicion that this machine will handle Leopard quite nicely. Moving up to storage, and I've decided to go with a 1 solid state and 1 mechanical drive setup. Now, this is a decision that I mulled over in my head for a very, very long time, whether to go down the dual SSD RAID 0 route, and while that is something I would absolutely love to try and do in the future, I think from a practicality standpoint, having 1 nice quick drive for your OS and your applications, and then a high capacity platter drive for document storage, your scratch disk or whatever, I think that's a much more logical approach. The SSD is an 80GB OCZ Vertex 2 drive. Similar to the Ultimate PowerBook G4 video, I needed to find an SSD with onboard garbage collection as Leopard doesn't support trim. This SSD has that, and just in general, from my research, I found that this SSD was one of, if not the best drive to go for use inside of a Power Mac G5. And onto the mechanical drive, I've decided to go with a 3 terabyte Seagate Barracuda 7200 RPM monster of a thing. Now, I know Seagate drives don't have the best reliability scores, especially the high capacity ones, but from a personal point of view, I have never had a Seagate drive die on me. I managed to get it for a very, very, very good price. And I mean, how awesome does that sound? The ability to say that you have a 3 terabyte hard drive installed in your quad-core Power Mac G5. Being able to say that was just too good to pass up. And lastly, onto the expansion bays. The stock 256 megabyte NVIDIA GeForce 6600 is absolutely on its way out, and it's going to be replaced with a 512 megabyte NVIDIA Quadro FX 4500. Now, I know the whole debate about what's the fastest GPU you can put in a Power Mac G5 is one that will go on until the end of time, and granted it is debatable that the 7800 GTX is a faster card in a lot of circumstances, but one, I couldn't find a 7800 GTX anywhere, and I don't have any means to flash a PC version to work in a G5, and secondly, I'm not going to lose any sleep over having slightly slower memory chips and 16 pipelines instead of 24. For a machine of this age, this card is still an absolute beast and is in just a totally different league to the card that is currently installed. Aside from GPUs, we're also going to be installing a 4-port USB 2.0 PCI Express card. It is no secret that the G5s, they never came with enough USB ports, and given the fact that I'm going to be running Wi-Fi and Bluetooth through USB, having these extra 4 ports is going to be a massive, massive helping hand. So that's pretty much how we're looking, guys. I hope you enjoyed this first video, and I hope you're looking forward to watching the rest of the series as much as I'm looking forward to recording it. And yeah, as always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.